Hello again. I'm always intrigued when I see parallels between the present day and some past historical period. And I've noticed lately a rather eerie comparison which may be made between Keir Starmer's government and that of Adolf Hitler in the 1930s. Hitler was famously a vegetarian and great lover of animals, and one of the first things which the Nazis did on coming to power in 1933 was to ban kosher slaughter and outlaw vivisection. This was done on the 21st of April 1933, just a month after Hitler had persuaded the Reichstag to pass the Enabling Act, which granted him dictatorial powers. That action should be taken so swiftly on this matter at a time of national crisis, when Hitler was still consolidating his grip on the country, shows how deeply embedded was the idea of animal welfare for the Nazis. Other measures taken at the same time included banning the shoeing of horses and a prohibition on the boiling alive of lobsters and crabs for food. Hunting was also subjected to strict controls. Two of these measures have, of course, just lately been announced by our own government. Hunting is already illegal, but now even following a scent trail is to be banned, and lobsters are no longer to be boiled in restaurants. There has been no public demand for such measures, which makes us ask ourselves why, at a time with so many problems facing the country, Labour feels that this kind of thing should be regarded as important. Well, one can see why both the Nazis in 1933 and Labour now should feel that it might be popular to publicise such new laws. Very few ordinary people either go hunting or choose live lobsters in fancy restaurants and order them to be boiled so they can be served up. I have certainly never done either of those things, nor have I ever felt the slightest inclination to even go hunting or order a lobster to be boiled. It's a class thing, isn't it? Hitler was touchy about his own plebeian origins, and I rather doubt that he had ever moved in the circles where lobsters were boiled in posh restaurants either. Apart from his own probably quite genuine feelings about cruelty to animals, he must have known that laws about hunting and boiling lobsters would play well with ordinary people. They were so clearly aimed at the wealthy, a little bit of spite towards a class he despised, as did many of those who had voted for him. So too is this the case with Starmer. I believe that very few of those who voted for him are people who routinely pop into restaurants, select a nice looking lobster and order it to be boiled and served up to them. I shouldn't think either that many Labour voters go in all that much for trail hunting. In other words, just like Hitler, Starmer can pass a law which is clearly aimed at the well-to-do and will be seen as such by Labour voters who will be pleased to see the boss get one in the eye. This is playing to the gallery, a bid for a little popularity when many people are sick to death of the government. By showing that he's passing laws which will affect, or so many Labour voters will think, only the well-to-do and idle county types, Starmer feels that they might forget about things like rising prices and so on. It is a cynical gambit, but that doesn't mean that it won't be a successful one, and it might take some people's minds off the dreadful state into which our country has now fallen.